In terms of Newcastle, obviously they had the great result of the weekend, beating Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final. Spanish media this week reported that Newcastle will let Bruno Guimaraes leave for £60 million if they would fail to qualify for the Champions League this season. I think that's quite a bit lower than what they maybe would be looking for after there's been 100 million talked about before.
Well, yeah, I mean, he is 28, but I still think it's total nonsense. Just think it's just not true. I mean, it might be a handshake, but I really doubt it.
Mm.
And where's he going to go anyway? So the reality is there are only 3 teams that we know that could even think about paying that fee in Spain. Real Madrid, I don't think are going to buy him. Barcelona, as always, are talking a good game, but I suspect they can't afford him. And then there's Atletico, and look, maybe you could see him. You could see him at Atletico, I think. With his qualities. But I think a market of one club, and in any event, is it a major move for him to make? Newcastle's a big club. I'm not saying Atletico aren't. They obviously are, and they'll be in the Champions League next season. But is it the sort of step change that he would move for? I doubt it. So, and then of course the other thing is actually if you look at the fixtures, and I did just do a substat this morning on this. If you look at the fixtures that Newcastle have got, I think Newcastle are going to be in the Champions League next season. They've got 10 games left. They've got 6 at home. That they happen to play both Manchester United and Aston Villa 3 days after the second legs of their critical European games, which is a huge advantage. 5 of the 10 fixtures are dead rubbers in terms of playing Leicester, Ipswich, Arsenal, Everton, somebody else. But these are games that are largely irrelevant to the teams they're playing. I think they're going to make the Champions League. They've got a game in hand over most teams around them. I think they are most likely, unless they have a huge hangover, I think they'll make the Champions League.
Mm. And then, along similar lines, Barcelona reportedly watched Alexander Isak against West Ham last week, a couple of weeks ago now, actually. Is it unlikely that they would be able to afford him given their financial concerns they've had over the past few years? But given the fee's probably going to be nearly 150 million, I guess.
Well, they've just announced they're not going into the stadium this season. They had hoped to be back in the stadium in the new camp. They'll be fine in the long term, probably, but on paper, they're in no financial position to do a deal like this at all. But then, in fairness, Barcelona, for the last 5 years, have been doing deals that on any basis you would think would be impossible. So, I don't know. I think it's very, very unlikely. I think the fee that Newcastle would want to demand would be probably 125 to 150 pounds, probably. Why else would you sell him? I just think it's hugely unlikely. But Barcelona are the one club that's proved any analysis of logical investment wrong. By all measures, they should have been bust a long time ago.